everyone, happy Friday. It's the long weekend in the UK anyway, it is. Easter weekend, so I thought I'd get in the studio and get this done and then enjoy the weekend making some music. Okay, so big shout out to everyone who last week who checked in. Some great comments, you guys are awesome. Really cool. Some really good feedback on the video as well. So this is the follow-up video, and I thought I'd change things up a little bit. Obviously the competition winners will be announced as well later in the video, but I've dug into the archives this week, so I've got my baby out, my favourite sampler of all time, and funnily enough, it's by Akai. So you can see here, look at this, if I move it across a bit here, you can see a bit more. The colourway is the same. I mean, I know this is based on the 60 and the 3000, but it's just that, yeah, it's that retro Akai feel. Whether they were going for that or not, don't really know. I'm pretty certain they were, because even the red type font is exactly the same. This is the original Akai retro feel. So this week, yes, we're going to be looking at the jungle workflow, how I did it in the 90s. So I was first introduced to this sampler in 93. My first track was in 93. Big shout out to ST Files, who introduced me to this sampler. And so for those who don't know about the sampler, basically this is like the brains of the operation. And back in the days it was Cubase, and it still is Cubase, was the MIDI sequencer, because of its rock solid timing, and it's still rock solid, the best timing for me personally, definitely. And so that was the heart of it. So that was the heart, the sequencer, and this was the brains. And so with this being the brains, this held all the audio. So all your audio, like now it's in the box, everything, you have all your soft samplers and all that kind of stuff. But in the S950, this is what a sampler was. This was your soft sampler that you have now, can be anything in today's world, but this was literally it now, with limited memory resources as well. And so this is what we used our samples for, and then we put our samples in and we chopped them, not visually, nothing visually, always by ear or by digits as well, which is crazy. If you want to see a more in-depth video on this, let me know in the comments, and I'll do a whole video on how to make my tracks on this, how I did it, all that kind of stuff. These are all my tracks from years ago. I mean, there's hundreds of tracks here that some unfinished, some are out, some are not, like stuff like this we're going to show later today. So this was a track called Orthodox Style, 1995, never came out, so we're going to use the samples and we're going to do some nice cool workflow things with that today. Okay, so when you turn on the sampler, you get a test tone, which sounds like this. Nothing extravagant, nothing fancy, but trust me, there's a really cool trick that it does in a second. Just hold tight. That's going through the MPC Sample. So you can see it there. Obviously, I can then choose to maybe make it hot or sort of cold with the input. And I kind of want to drive it a little bit as well. So I think I'm all right with that. Maybe a bit more. And here it's clipping a slight touch. Happy with that. Really happy with that. So of course in MPC Sample, I want to record. So I'm going to go to Shift and Input. My source is the rear. And of course you can monitor with effects as well, but I want to keep it clean. And so from here now I can just go back and I can just go to sample record. It's ready to record on any pad. I'm going to choose pad 1. It's ready to take the signal. Keep it going. And there you go. So when I go to sample mode, there it is. Really cool this now. So now I have this test tone at that one octave that it's at, that one key that it's at. Now I can go to 16 levels and right, first stage, second stage, because I have assigned the fader on the MPC Sample to pitch, I can do this. But now when I go down, well, you can hear it. And that was the trick. That was the trick that we did. Everyone did it. I'm pretty certain there wasn't many people who didn't do it in that particular time frame of jungle, hardcore, breakbeat, hardcore, that kind of time. Definitely in jungle. That was what we did, because we had no resources to get a sub bass, and that was the trick that we came up with. And I still use it now. So yeah, really cool. And that is the test tone. Okay, so let's load some samples up now. We've got the test tone. Now we want to load some samples in. This is a 1.4 meg floppy meg, not gig, 1.4 meg. And so this is what it takes. And all these samples were chopped up and really small and 16-bit, and we got them on one floppy. We literally got one track on a floppy, and maybe two sometimes. Okay, so here we are in edit sample. So let's get the samples in now into the MPC sample. The samples into the sample. Of course, these are all the breaks that are in this track that never came out. 1995, this. Last time I fired this one up. Of course, we've got the aiming in there. Funk bass. Mara, I think that's a hat I think I used to use. Yeah, that's cool. This break. I mean, how fat does that sound? This is literally just coming out of that, going into the sample. And obviously it's the original origins of it, sampled from vinyl and stuff like that. So yeah, it's got the quality there, you can hear it. And I know it's at a lower tempo, but this is what we did and then sped it up. Okay, so these are all my breaks. Let's have a listen to a couple more. The sub in there. Heavy, nice sub in there. Another break. What's that one? 143. Nice breaks in there. Yeah, really fat sounds.
It is not the art, but the combat.
Really cool. So that was obviously, it's called Orthodox Style, obviously out of a Kung Fu film. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to switch it over to cameras, and then we're going to make some beats with those samples sampled into the MPC sample, and then we're going to make a beat on the MPC sample. Let's go. So I have all my samples in. The hat.
It is not the art, but the combat.
The aiming. Bass. Sub. Funk bass. String. Kick. Snare. So this is my kit now that I built up from 16-bit out of the sampler, all resampled into the sample. Let's make a beat. So tempo-wise, 170. On the quantized tape, I'm going to leave it on 1/8. So I'm going to double it up to 4 bars. So I've got 4 bars here, so I can stretch it across. And we're going to go back to sample, and I'm going to go to chop mode. And now I have all the whole break chopped up. Really good. So this is like the jungle way of doing things. So now literally you'll get a beat, you can either stretch it up, you can pitch it, you can chop it into sections to give you the timing. I like to chop it up into regions, but not too rigidly. I like to leave some trails so that you can kind of get the loose feel of a drummer, so that it's more organic. That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so let's get some pattern ideas down. Okay, I quite like that one. Really like that, so I'm going to go to shift, I'm going to double the sequence. Come out of chop mode. Kind of want a hi-hat running with this as well. But what I am going to do is, because I want the hats to sort of be not so rigid and almost like have different velocities, almost like a probability to the hats, what I'm going to do is, while it's recording, I'm actually going to choose to change here the mix volume. Yeah, the mix volume. So as I'm recording, I'm going to be doing this to give it some real-time velocity. You see it? It's almost kind of like an automation there. Really like that. So I might want to reinforce it. I have kick and snare here, they're quite loud. So, for instance, I have the fader. I want to assign the fader now to the original volume for now. So it's on kick volume. I'm going to put it on pad volume. And just to get a nice mix of the kick volumes now. Right, cool. So let's go and reinforce that kick and snare. Let's do the snare. Really like that. So I'm going to go back to sample mode. Sorry, I'm already in sample mode. I want to go now to the bass. So like I did with the test tone, we sampled it. I can go 16 levels. That's the test tone. So from that, some really, you might need headphones for this one, by the way. And now let's get some bass down. I might have to turn this up so you hear it. So you get the vibe of the bass. Well, like this. Go again. So the last two notes are a little bit messy, so I can go shift, step edit here, and then I can go to, obviously, the bass here. It's just right at the end here, the steps, like what I take out. It's like do-do-do-do-do, and that's it, I think. So that one there. I'm going to raise that one. Like do-do-do. So it's that one maybe as well. That one as well there. And then if I want to, I can then go back to sample mode and 16 levels mode and then add the notes back in. That's it. That's what I wanted, that sort of timing. Now the bass obviously is quite loud. I just wanted to get across to you so you can hear it, because sub bass you can feel but you can't really hear unless I start to put some harmonics on it, which obviously I could then resample, but for now let's just get the beat rolling. So pad volume. Really nice. So now I might want to add some more samples. So
It is not the art.
we have this vocal.
It is not the art, but the combat.
A cool kung fu film. So it's quite quiet, you can see here. So there's not really a way to normalize it as far as I know so far. So I can use the volume. So I can go here to trim, and you can see the volume that's actually up there now.
It is not the art.
which is pretty much replicating the pad volume. So I might want to go a bit louder so I can go shift knob effects. I use a soft clipper quite a lot because you can get things loud instantly with a nice drive as well, so it's not too bad. And I want to put it on this pad, which is the vocal. I come out of knob effects, and
It is not the art, but the combat.
much better that now. So I want to change the trim as well of it, so I'm going to go to the trim. Something like that there.
It is not the art. It is not the art, but the combat. It is not the art, but the combat.
So I might want to do some more with this now. So for instance, I might want to
It is not the art, but the combat.
resample that now so I get an effect maybe. So I can actually then go to my shift and I can go to sample record. It goes to pad 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, right, because I'm in the record mode. Okay, so input record. I want to resample. That's why I didn't do it. So resample, come out of there, and
It is not the art, but the combat.
now I want to do that and resample it. So shift and recall, it goes to 7. And there it is, that's what we want. Start point,
It is not the art.
trim, shift and 13. Just tidy it up a bit.
It is not the art, but the combat.
I'm off and running.
But the combat. But the combat.
It is not the art. Combat.
It is not the art, but the combat.
Combat. Combat.
Let's put that in.
Combat. Combat.
But the combat.
Really nice. Got an aiming in there as well. Quite like this. This bass here, I'm going to trim it a bit. Just to supplement things.
Combat. Combat.
It is not the art, but the combat. The
Combat.
combat. It is not the art.
But what I
But
might
the
do
combat.
here is trim that. So just get the first section.
It is not the art.
Combat.
It is not the art.
Combat.
It is not the art.
Really nice. Obviously it's quite raw and we can add effects, but I just want to get the beat down for now. Amen. Come on. Really nice. So with the Amen, same thing here. I'm in warp mode. Stretch mode. Let's try stretch mode on this. I need to tune it, obviously. Yeah. So start tuning it in now. Got to be about now, so that's 100% there. You know what? Something around there, about 93 maybe?
Combat.
Let's try that.
Combat. Combat.
Maybe pitch it a bit more. What are we on there? Let's try and somewhere on there, 96 maybe? That'd be appropriate.
Combat. Combat.
Really nice. So to aim it with Aiming, because I'm using like a sheen and sort of like a supplement to the actual kick snares and already a break in there with lots of stuff going on, we can do some nice cleanup here. So I'm going to choose a high pass filter and I'm just going to do this and just take some of it out. So this low end section, I don't want that. That energy. Kind of want it there, so it's just sitting in its certain mid range, but giving the sheen and the sort of pace as well.
Combat.
And that break as well, that big bird break. Where is it? It's come out there. That can come down a little bit, I think, in volume.
Combat.
Really nice. All we need now is some melodies. So someone asked me this morning, I checked my messages this morning on YouTube, and they said, they struggle with strings, how do I get the strings working right in a sample? So this is actually a sample of a string. So here you can see on the string, there's even a little bit, because I sampled it 93, 94, whatever. It's got some crackle on it, so it's off a record, it's off a vinyl record. So first of all, you want to clean up your sample. So you want to find your start point, your start and end point, and depending on how long the sample is. And it could be a short or long, it depends on what you want to do, what I'm going to show you next, because of what I'm going to show you next. So I'm happy with that. Now, because it's got really cool features in here, like full, destructive, non-destructive editing and stuff in the MPC, you can actually do this, for instance. I can go shift and reverse, and I can... And that gives it a nice feel. I can go 16 levels, and then I can play it. If I want to, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go shift and go back to where it was. 16 levels. Really, really nice. You might recognise this one of my tracks called 1996. That's the pad that I use from that. On Jungle Rollers, my label. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press loop mode. And you can see it go blue there, but that means I can start looping certain sections. And then I get the third K knob, which is activated for loop. And then I can actually then choose a loop range. And that's really good for them to be able to tidying up your strings, get them tighter, get them looping in certain sections like this. Something like that's really cool, because then when I play it at low pitches, it's more constant. Let's get it in. Really nice. So it's quite loud-ish, so do that. Now, because it's played at a lower octave, the string, it's getting rumbles and noises and all that sort of stuff again. So this is where you filter again. This is what you also do with your strings. Because there's stuff in here you really don't need. So I'm going to go to high pass filter 4 on here, and I'm just going to, like that. That's all you need for the string. Maybe that for a little bit of body, but you certainly don't need all that. And now it'll be sound much cleaner. Okay, so then we can actually maybe then go to the master compressor, shift compressor, and you can see the duck. It's kind of the ducker on the MPCs. And I can choose the attack of the compressor, but I don't want it because it's quite fast and I want the transients to pick up from the start. The release, I want it to breathe a bit more, so all I'm going to change is the amount, which is the threshold, which is starting to attacking things and transients and crushing it a little bit. It's nice. You can add color mode as well, so it has a nice feel to things. It's like a master bus compressor, which works really well in hardware, I guess. Really crushing there. I'm going to take color mode off because I don't need that. I just want to slightly just control it. Something like that's really clean and simple. That I think could do with some sort of effect. So of course then I could then choose to shift knob effects, and then for instance I might want to have it. Well, I've got soft clipper on there because it's resampled. I can take it off now because I've already got it copied on the other pads. But then I can say, okay, let's give it a reverb. I might want to give it a large reverb. Something like that. Maybe turn it up a bit as well. Anyway, so there you go. Now sequence mode, really cool this bit. So there's my sequence there on this one pad. So So there's my sequence there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go shift and copy from that to the first one to keep it tidy. And then I'm going to go shift and copy from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 8 of the exact same sequences there. And now in here, I can go to sequence edit. So I can go to shift step edit. So from here, I can erase all events off that one there. Just in this one sequence. Go again. Don't want any, just want the hats and the riff. We don't need the bass. So we can delete that. Not really using that one. Don't need the aiming. And we're going to move the big bird break, the raw break as I call it. There you go.
Combat.
Maybe take that off as well. There's probably too much reverb on that, but who cares? Right, okay.
Combat.
And that's my intro for the first bit of the sequence. Second one here, I'm going to erase, don't want the bass in there. Don't need any of that. I'll leave the kick and the snare in. So sequence. So leave the kicks and snares in. I'm going to erase that off there. No, on the aiming as well. Set the aiming off.
Combat.
I'll take the sub off as well.
Combat.
Nice. Back to our sequence. Third one. We'll take the bass out. We don't want the bass in out of this one. So shift sequence edit. And I'm going to raise the bass. And take the aiming off.
Combat.
And that's that sequence there. So what I'll do is I'm going to copy this sequence, shift erase, it's copy that sequence to there. And that's before the drop. And then this one can be the drop. So, but without the string though. So I'm going to go to shift sequence in there and...
It is not the art.
It is not the art.
Where's the string?
But the combat.
God. Right. There's a string gone. Maybe remove that for now. There you go. So now the sequence is intro, some bits in, some more bits in, breakdown, all in. And let's do it on the fly.
Combat.
Now it's going to flash until it comes in the next time.
Combat.
It's like a launch quantize.
Combat. Combat.
Then I'm going to add some more elements.
Combat. Combat.
Add the breakdown.
Combat.
And then this is the drop.
Combat. Combat.
Not bad.
Combat. Combat.
And so there you go, 12-bit crunchiness into the MPC sample, jungle beats, making a quick beat, sounds quite cool. No power supply in here, this is what's good about this unit. So it just runs. I got for my testings, a good few hours, about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, which is huge, you know. And that's it, it's just going straight out now into the studio setup. So yeah, these samples are on here, and this might be a cool way to work for me in the future, or for yourselves, if you have old tracks. Try resampling them back into the sample. You will get a different feel, but you'll also get a different vibe of how you will put it together as well, because there is certain limitations, and that also increases creativity. Okay, on to the competition. Okay, it's time for the competition. Big shout out to everyone who's entered last week who commented, like, subscribe to myself on this channel and to Decksaver's channel. Big shout out to Decksavers for this week's prize. I'll be doing this again at some point. Okay, so here we go. So this is what it is. This is the Wheel of Names. So we have the Wheel of Names here. Everyone who's commented, I said that anyone who's commented as well would also come into the hat for this week, in the draw for this week. Here we have the list of names. So here we have the list of names of everyone. And what you can do here is I can shuffle all them up as well. So I'm going to shuffle, 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 shuffle. And you can feel the names shuffling as well. And it's really cool, this app. So I can then literally just press play and it will do the wheel and it will pick a winner, which is really, really cool. So let's maybe get a drum roll going. No repeat. Too slow. Maybe that'll do. Can you latch not repeat? I don't know. Anyway, right, so I'm going to keep shuffling. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Good luck to the winners. First one out the hat. There's 2 prizes, identical prizes. Decksaver of your choice and a pile of vinyl from me if you want it signed. That's also cool. Let's go. Who's this? Okay. What an app, eh? What a cool app. So, Aaron Reed, 3368. My details are on the YouTube channel, so my email will be on their contact email and also my website, analogmastering.co.uk. So on there, you can actually contact me directly from there and message and all that kind of stuff. So please get in touch. When you get in touch, I'll get your address and then I'll send you the vinyl. And then I'll also forward your details to Decksaver, who will also send you their Decksaver of your choice from their side. When they arrive, I don't know because we don't know where you are and stuff, but expect 2 packages. And so, yeah, well done, Aaron Reed, 3368. I reckon we do a shuffle again and then do it again to make it a bit more fairer. So shuffle it again, and then we're going to spin the wheel again. Drum roll. Who's this? Room at the Top Studio. So congratulations, we have a winner again. So Room at the Top Studio, same details. Yep, get in touch on the YouTube channel. The contact details are in there, and of course my website's up there to get in contact directly, and then we can go from there. But well done and congratulations. Don't forget to get in touch for your prize. I will be doing it again at some point soon, so don't worry about that, anyone who missed out. And thank you all for getting involved. And yeah, I'm back next week, and things are going good on this channel, so that's good. Okay, so that's it. So until next week, I'll be back with some more jungle, some more hardware, and of course Cubase. So until next week, have a great weekend, happy Easter and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you chill out. Peace.